Hi there, it's Jen from modernmedicinelady.com and the Empathic Woman System, and the word of the day is readiness. Now, I tried to record this a couple weeks ago and discovered that I had uploaded a video that was missing its audio midway through. So I wanted to re-record it, but I needed to feel ready, to re-record it. So when I recorded it the other day, I was talking, it was in a series about romance and relationships and all of the ways that as a highly sensitive empathic person, we can be affected in our love life, essentially. And I was talking about my own awareness of how my readiness to be in a relationship was deeply impacting the choices I was making in a relationship. Well, yesterday, my word of the day was shadow. And in many ways, this really dovetails with this whole idea. And I want to talk about how it was only when I could own my shadow around relationships, and only when I could own the part of me that did not feel ready to be in a relationship, that I was actually able to make changes and to get into a real relationship. So what I discovered was that for many, many years when I was younger, I identified as this incredibly romantic, loving, kind, emotionally available person who just wanted to be intimate and with somebody 24/7. And so what was happening was that every single relationship that I was getting into was with somebody who was emotionally unavailable, who was deeply ambivalent about being in a committed long-term relationship, and who was essentially just not all that into being in a relationship with me. Now, this is kind of sad and painful to admit because I just kept on going after man who was basically just not that interested in being in a relationship. And I just kept on promising myself or telling myself that he would come around, or that because his behavior was one thing, or because I could sense affection coming from him in some way, that somehow the fact that he was telling me he wasn't interested, that he was telling me he wasn't ready, that he was telling me he wasn't looking for a marriage, that somehow that was just going to magically change. And it was only when I actually acknowledged that there was a part of me that didn't want to be in a relationship that I started to be able to do something different. Because what I had been doing was I was projecting my ambivalence, and I was projecting the part of me that didn't want to be in a relationship onto these other people, and I was essentially letting them do the heavy lifting for me. I got to look like the hopeless romantic who was just having bad luck in love, and they got to be the one who was setting all the boundaries and setting all the limits and saying, no, this is not what I want. But here's the thing. If I had actually been ready for a relationship, the truth is, I would have had absolutely no tolerance for somebody who was ambivalent. I would have had no tolerance for somebody who was basically like, yep, not for me, not looking for marriage, not wanting to do any of this, not ready to settle down. I would have basically been like, you're nice, I like ya, hey, it's been a great roll in the hay, but I'm looking for something a hell of a lot more than this, and I deserve a hell of a lot more than this, and bye-bye. It's been real. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on your way out. Like, I would not have waited. I would not have stuck around. I would have just basically accepted that that fish was not appropriate, and I would have thrown it back into the water. But instead, I kept on hanging out with these smelly fish, just watching them rot, because I wasn't really ready. I wasn't really able to be there for a real long-term committed relationship yet. And like I said, instead of owning that part of me, I let them own it for me. So when I started to recognize that, and I started to ask myself the questions of, what is it about a relationship that I don't actually want? What is it that has me hesitant? What is it that has me ambivalent about being in a relationship? That was when I started to be able to recognize what my limits were, what my needs were, what my boundaries were around being in a relationship. And that's when I started to realize I wanted something different than I thought I did. That I didn't want to be in a relationship with somebody 24/7 who was just constantly in this state of just lovey-dovey intimacy. What I actually wanted was a relationship where there was a lot of room for me to grow, where there was a lot of space for me, where there was a lot of quiet time and downtime and space away. And it wasn't until I admitted that part of me, the part of me that needed a lot of room and didn't always want to be in love 24/7, that I was able to find the partnership that I've had and have been in now for almost 18 years. So, my question to you right now is, where are you at in all of this? Where are you at in your love life? Or perhaps maybe it's something other than your love life that this is manifesting in. Are you telling yourself that you were totally ready for something, but then you keep on manifesting evidence that you're not? That it just isn't working out, that something, and that it's the same pattern or behavior keeps repeating over and over again? And if you are in a relationship, is it a relationship that is really solid? Is a relationship where both of you are showing up 100% and saying, yeah, I'm really down for this? And if that's the case, then go you. And if it's not the case, then what is making you stay? What is it about the relationship, or what is it about you that has you in that kind of a situation? And is it possible that there's a part of you that wants something different than what you actually thought you wanted? Now, obviously, this is not always that cut and dried, and it is obviously not always that simple, particularly if there are children involved. But a lot of this, at least in my experience, is true, that if you keep on manifesting ambivalent relationships, the person you got to look at is yourself, not all of those other people. So I would love to hear what you have to say about all of this. Please leave a comment below. And until next word of the day, I am wishing you peace. I'm wishing you ease. And I'm really wishing you the capacity to recognize where you're at in terms of readiness for whatever you are saying is your heart's desire. Also, in the meantime, I want to mention something to you that I've created specifically for the holiday season, which is a special holiday help guide for empaths. And if you go to holidayhelpforempaths.com, you can go and sign up, and then you can immediately download the guide, as well as have access to some videos to give you some support to get over the hump during this holiday season. So I invite you to go check it out, Holiday Help for Empaths, and download your own guide. I am really proud of it. It's really awesome, and it is totally my gift to you for the holiday season. So please go check it out, Holiday Help for Empaths. And in the meantime, if you know other people who would be interested in this video, please like it, please share it, and please pass it along to other people who would find it useful. Thank you so much, and until tomorrow, peace.